Hey, so today I want to talk a little bit about some ways and ideas on tracking your weight. I am Michelle Clay. I'm a family nurse practitioner and I help patients to lose weight and also to optimize their health and well-being. And today I just wanted to briefly review some ways to track your weight and a tip I share with all of my weight loss patients. Okay, so first let's just start with to weigh or not to weigh. And it's a big debate. And as far as research goes, there's no clear winner as far as how it impacts your weight loss. So ideally, you need to do what is best for you. So let's just look at some pros and cons of each way. So the pros, it can definitely help you track your progress. And then sometimes if you're weighing daily or regularly, you can kind of see the impact if you made some dietary changes, good or bad, what it does to your weight and things like that. Um, so that's one of the pros. Also, it gives you a sense of accountability, especially if someone knows you're going to be weighing in. To know that you've got that coming up can kind of give you some focus on your goals. And then it can be very motivating when the scale starts to move in the right direction. It really can spur you on to continue on with what you're doing and even add other healthy behaviors. Some cons, it can have a negative emotional impact. Probably everyone's experienced where you feel like you've done great with everything and you get on the scale and you've gained weight or you've not lost weight. I know I've experienced that. And then you just feel like, well, forget it. I'm just going to eat this whole bag of candy. So it can be negative if it's not going in the right direction. It can also become an obsession where you just so focused on it and focused on everything related to it that it can kind of have a negative impact overall. And then it's also not always accurate on actually your weight loss. Let's say you have just gone to the gym and you had a great workout, your muscles are gonna be sore and repairing and you're gonna hold some fluid, and so it could look like your weight's gone up when actually you've lost weight. It's just that extra fluid, or maybe you just need to go to the bathroom. There's a lot of things like that that can impact that number and not actually be super accurate. So those are some things to consider when you're deciding if you're going to weigh or not to weigh. There's lots of other ways besides your weight to kind of track your progress. Of course, one of the ways and one of the first things people often notice is that their clothes fit differently. So that's a good way to track your progress. Probably most of us, I know I always have some jeans, those jeans that I want to get into. And so sometimes if you put on something you haven't worn in a while and you're like, oh, I can get into this so much easier. That can be a good way. Your actual measurements, I always have my weight loss patients to weigh at least initially and then to measure their waist because it can be a good way to track your progress separate from the scale. Scale can maybe stay the same and you can see like, oh, I've lost some inches and you've got some body recomposition going on. So that's a good way. And then before and after pictures are always a great way. A lot of times you can tell a difference in your face in particular at first. So if you're starting on a journey, a lot of times people don't want pictures of themselves, but I encourage you to take some pictures because you'll want them later so that you can really put them side by side and compare your progress. Your body fat percentage. You can get calipers that will give you a pretty accurate reading. A super accurate reading is a whole specialized equipment and a tank of water you have to get in that's usually not possible for most people. But a caliper can be an option, or there's a lot of scales now. Just I know my at home scale has that ability where it gives you an estimation of your percent of body fat. And so that can be a good measurement of your progress. Your exercise ability, maybe you take the stairs at work and now, before you got winded and now you're not. That can be a sign of progress. Just being able to do more, maybe not being as fatigued and things like that can show you your progress. Your energy levels, usually with some weight loss, your energy levels improve. So that can be a good way to track your progress. Your lab markers, blood pressure is a good one. Usually with about 10 pounds of weight loss, that's enough to start impacting your blood pressure. So your blood pressure numbers getting better is a good track of progress. And then your actual some lab values like cholesterol and triglycerides in particular usually respond to some weight loss. So that's another good way. And then just your overall mood. How are you feeling overall? That can be a good way to track your progress. Okay, so if you do weigh, and this is a tip that I give to all my weight loss patients, is instead of just weighing, day to day and just looking from day to day, I encourage them to do averages. So let's say you are someone you like to weigh every day or nearly every day. So what you would do is you would weigh, you need to weigh the same time every day, preferably right after you go to the bathroom, first thing in the morning, with very little clothes on or no clothes on, and jot that weight down. I have a calendar and I just jot my weight down every day on that calendar. At the end of the week, you're going to take every weight and add them all up. So let's just do an example. I got one set up here. Okay, so let's say day 1, the weight was 198.7. Day 2, 199. Day 3, 197.9. Day 4, 197.7. So on. So you would write all of those down and then you would add all of them up. So for this example, when I added all 7 weights up, that came to 1,387 pounds, 0.4. Okay. Then you would take that and divide it by 7. And for this example, that would come out to 198.2. So that's an average weight for all the weights for that week. Then you compare average weight this week to average weight next week, and so on, to where you're really comparing average to average to average. And that's going to give you a better overall picture of how your weight's going. If you just are a person who just say, like every Sunday I weigh, well, maybe this last Sunday you hit an exceptionally low day of your week, and the next Sunday you hit an exceptionally high day. It could look like you gained when in actuality, if you'd have averaged both of those weeks, you may have actually lost, but you kind of miss it. Now, if you don't weigh every single day, let's say you just get five weights, then you would add all those up and divide by 5. So whatever your number of weights is that week, just divide the total by that number, and that will give you your average. So that's just if you are aware, then that's a good way that you can track your average weights. So that's it for today, and just let me know if you have any questions or comments. If you have any concerns, if you happen to live in Kentucky and you need help with weight loss, you can contact me on my website, michellclayfnp.com, or my Facebook page is Balanced Health. Thanks.